Well, this is the deer carcass. I wasn't there, so maybe it's not funny to you
no,
guys.
you weren't there. It was this distinct moment where we were like all kind of blaming each other, like someone smells bad. But it turns out it was just essentially a rotting corpse.
Hilil! Ada yang terang, tapi bukan lampu. Ada yang merah, tapi bukan api. Itu loh, tombol subscribe. Buruan ya, subscribe YouTube channel Cinema 21 sekarang juga.
Hey everyone, my name is Nandra. I represent Cinema 21, the largest cinema chain in Indonesia. Nice to meet you.
All right,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so one of my favorite things in the movie are the irises sleep mode, like blank expression. Can you teach me how to do it, Sophie? And maybe you guys try to replicate the expression and let the others judge.
God. It's just about like going still. Posture, hands here maybe. And then it was just the contacts. That's it. It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
And it's harder to do that take after take. That might have been one of the hardest things about it, and keeping those contacts in. But
It was so uncomfortable.
yeah, it's about remaining still on camera. You know, I'm a very fidgety person, so it's very technical.
Are you holding your breath?
Not all the time. I think on the close-ups I had to.
Yeah.
But in the wider shots I was able to kind of, I keep comparing it to meditating. It felt kind of like you're just let go of thoughts and relax. And you have to be aware of your breath in a sense so that you're not fidgety or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Tell me to go to sleep.
Okay, go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Wow. How are you doing that? Okay, I mean, I can't top that. That's very impressive.
Oh, you did.
He did it. He did it.
Lucas. Oh, wake up.
Alright, without any command mode,
Hello.
this is already doing it.
Actually, that's amazing. I
That's
can't top
good.
these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so Companion blends sci-fi, horror, and dark comedy in such a unique way. What inspired you to take this genre-bending approach?
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I made this movie, I wrote this movie because I was at a place in my career where I wasn't getting the job opportunities that I wanted. I love genre, I love horror, I love sci-fi, I love thrillers, I love heist movies, I love comedy, you know? And so I wasn't really getting those opportunities, and I had to like kind of sit down and be like, well, why is that? And I realized it's because of me. I didn't have a writing sample that represented my voice. And so that's where Companion sprang from. It was a desire to create something that represented the kinds of movies that I wanted to be making, which sounds so obvious, but it took me, you know, like 15 years to figure that out. And so, yeah, I just sat down and I generated as many genre ideas as I can, and Companion was the one that I went, okay, this is a story that I would love to tell.
Okay, so Jackie and Lucas, what drew you to the script in the first place? Was there any particular scene in the script that made you think like, okay, I have to do this movie?
Page one. It was just one of the best scripts I'd ever read in my entire life. I was bowled over by every single twist. I thought the characters were all so rich. I just think Drew, he raised the bar in terms of what I view as a good script. So I remember going into my first meeting with him. I didn't have the role yet. I think I came off very desperate. I was like, if you'll have me, I'm yours. I'm Jack, by the way.
Aww.
You know, it was...
And it worked.
And it worked out.
We're here right now.
It was great. And like, I thank God I got to be a part of this thing. I mean, even if I wasn't involved, I'd be such a huge fan of it. So no, it's a dream come true with this thing. It really is.
I think the whole concept, the whole story behind it, seeing these three different relationships, the exploration that it had on dynamics in relationships and roles that we all play, and that every character was layered and had great qualities and not so great qualities. I thought it was just a project that I really wanted to be a part of.
Okay, so you also mentioned in the production notes that Companion constantly reinvent itself. Can you elaborate more on that idea?
That's the fun of like my favorite kind of movies is like you can't put them in a box. It's like, you know, one of my all-time favorite movies is Fargo. That's like a movie that didn't exist before Fargo. It's its own thing. It's blending all these different genres, and it's so new and fresh. And I think that's like this day and age when people have seen everything and people are so steeped in like, you know, like tropes, and they know what's been done before, and you have to kind of like, with a savvy audience, constantly reinvent yourself. Every so often you have to, you know, like the story has to evolve in a way that people aren't going to expect, and that means playing with genre, and that means playing with expectation and tropes and what's expected. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned playing with expectation, right? And I think you are successfully subvert expectation throughout the movie.
Thank you.
How did you balance the surprises and the coherence throughout the movie?
Yeah, I mean, that comes from a place of like, you need to, if you're going to be playing with all of these crazy ideas, you really do have to have an emotional through line that carries you through the entire story. And for us, it was Iris's journey. You know, like if you're going to make a story about a robot, which, you know, like conceivably would be, it's hard sell to relate to a robot. Yeah. You need to make sure that her emotional journey is something that everyone could recognize as familiar. You know, we treated the movie, you know, even though it has all these different genres happening, we treated the movie as if it's a breakup movie, as if it's a relationship drama. And that became the directive for everyone. The acting, all the department heads is, let's just forget about the sci-fi, forget about the humor, make this relationship feel real and lived in and relatable.
So Sophie and Harvey, did the blend of romance, horror, and comedy create any memorable or funny moments on set?
This is always the hardest question to get, because then it's all a blur and I think of everything.
I think we have a lot of moments on set that were memorable. Some off-screen, you know, just hanging out with them. There was just, you know, this group is hilarious. And I've just been very fortunate for the last couple of years to work on projects that I really get to just play and like, you know, in this genre and comedy and horror and thriller. It's just like, I'm very fortunate. So I really love the project and I can't wait for everyone to see it because everyone just has these great moments and we all get to shine in this movie and get to really play something different that we don't usually get to play. You know, we all agree, the three of us have gotten that opportunity and we're ecstatic for everyone to see it.
I mean, that dancing scene, we all had fun, but there wasn't like a... Yeah. Well, okay, well, this is the deer carcass.
Oh,
well, this is like, kind of funny. Now, I wasn't there, so maybe it's not funny to you guys.
Oh, no, you weren't there. It basically,
but it was funny hearing it.
Oh God, it's sad, but essentially,
It's really
one day we started noticing that there was like a smell, and we were like, what is that? And it grew in intensity over the course of days, and we realized that unfortunately a deer had died up the hill.
That's not funny, I don't know, that's
funny, but it's like, but we were all like, there was this distinct moment where we were like, all kind of blaming each other, like someone smells bad. But it turns out it was just a essentially rotting corpse, and it's just, But the movie is, I think, you know, it's such a dark movie, and there was such a lightness in between takes. We really had fun with each other, kind of the whole time. You know, it was a really great group of people, and one of the most fun times I've ever had making anything. Really, considering how dark it is, especially.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, Megan, how did you build the group dynamics, especially with so many characters in this movie?
You know, I have to credit a lot of that to Drew's writing. I think that he did a great job of doing that, but I think a lot of it just organically came as we all met each other on set, and it wasn't hard to, you know, establish a friendship with everybody. I'm friends with, you know, all of them in real life, and so I think that dynamic felt a lot more natural and organic because of that reason.
Okay, so what was the most challenging scene or sequences to direct, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, great question. That's very easy for me to answer because there was one day that was just a gigantic pain in the ass, which was the Hendrick scene, the side of the road with the cop. We only had 8 hours to shoot that because we were shooting in upstate New York, and that's as much sunlight as you had in a day. And there are 3 stunts, you know, stunts are really tough to do. You have to have a stunt woman come in, and you have to have padding, and there's falls, and there's glass being broken, and there's a car that has to swerve around, that if it's wrong, you have to reset the car, and then you have blood effects, and you had Iris speaking German, and Sophie doesn't know how to speak German, so she has to nail that German scene, and we had a German foreign language expert off camera helping her along. And meanwhile, the sun is going down, and we're like, oh no, are we going to be able to get this? We did, luckily, but it came very close. The last shot was literally down to the second.
Okay, so Iris has many robotic features, like the eye colors, the language, and the intelligence levels. If you guys could have one of Iris's feature on yourself, what would it be?
I would actually want to be able to kind of turn off. I would like that, actually. I'm just not a very good sleeper. I love just to be able to be And I'm asleep. You know, like I have a very hard time falling asleep sometimes, so that'd be great.
You just play around with like your intelligence setting, because you know, to find yourself at a cocktail party and you just want to be entertaining, it would be great to just turn up intelligence, and suddenly you're the most charismatic person in the room, and sometimes you find yourself like you need to check out and tune out and turn it down to 0%, so you can just like kind of just float through the conversation. Yeah.
The ability to speak any language.
The languages.
I would love to be able to connect with as many people.
Wouldn't that
as
be
many
cool?
humans.
Just to go to a
So
different
cool.
country and just know the language.
I mean, the travel experience would be 10,000
forget
times
about it.
better. It would
I
be
would
amazing.
love to be able to talk to animals.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That
Communicate
too.
with animals, like to just like talk to my dog.
Was that one of the features?
No, but I'm gonna pretend. To.
I was like, wait.
It's an updated version of Iris, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just my own interpretation.
Definitely not the eyes. I think the white eyes, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
The blue eyes were really cool. And I liked those because it read kind of like anime or something. But the
that was
white
really
is
cool.
just eerie and I'm not a fan. And it's the poster. Every time I see myself, I'm like, oh.
Well, I think it looks great.
It looks great. No, the poster's amazing.
If you could describe the movie in 3 words, I mean, each one of you, what would they be? Without any spoilers.
I would say quite the ride.
Ooh, that's
Right.
great. I'm gonna steal that.
So fun time.
All right.
Fun and scary. Fun and scary.
So fun. Oh my god.
Thrilling and surprising.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Do you have anything to say to people in Indonesia that were waiting to watch Companion?
Ooh, I'd say if you can, go in knowing
Blind.
as little spoilers as possible.
Because I think you're gonna have so much more fun if you don't know anything about it.
Go watch
Yeah.
it.
Go watch
You're gonna love
it.
it. It's
Thank
a wild
you.
ride.
Yes.
Love you,
guys.
Indonesia.
Yeah, thank you.
Asik kan videonya? Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan komen ya. Sampai bertemu di video selanjutnya.